Hi, and welcome to our White Nackros' Magic Mayan Hot Chocolate. We are here, Cherie and Amy and myself, Erica, and we're going to get started in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to get the video going, and we'll see if anyone joins us. All right, so.
Hi, Mom. We're starting already, huh? This is great.
We just had a lot of fun in the kitchen. We spilled evaporated milk all over.
Which kind of sounds hard to do when you think about it.
Yes.
Unless one of you opens a can and then sneaks off, and then the other picks it up and shakes it.
So that happened, and it was good that it didn't happen during the live feed.
And no one cried.
And no one cried.
Happy tears of laughter. Oh, good times, good times.
First my notes. Okay, great. Okay. So we welcome your questions throughout this. We think will be an hour of doing the live stream of making food magic, and we just ask you to ask them throughout the show. If the live stream, if you have any questions, just ask them right away, and then at the end we will sit down and sip our Mayan hot chocolate and answer all of your questions. So, and if there are none, we're just going to make some up. No, I'm just kidding. So hopefully you'll ask some questions, but if not, we're definitely going to enjoy the Mayan hot chocolate afterwards.
Where did the tablespoon thing?
And Cherie, why, as we're kicking off now, why is it important? Why do we want to do the questions at the end?
Well, a very important part of food magic is creating the space, okay? Because we're so fragmented. Our phones are going off, our children are going off, the TV is on in the background. We're so harried and fragmented. Our energy is called in so many directions. It's super important now to just, hey, I'm going to turn my phone off. I'm going to turn off the TV, maybe even light a candle. We have a couple of lit candles back here, and give yourself some time to breathe and kind of separate yourself from your day. We're not taught about transitions in our culture. Everything is like a moving color painting. We just go, 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 go. Every focus is on doing. But when we separate ourselves and we just say, okay, now I'm in the kitchen, and become mindful, I really want to be where I am. I want to be fully present in what I'm doing, because I'm going to feed my family, or maybe my lover, or maybe my mother. Whatever I stir up in this pot, whatever I'm going through is absolutely going to influence the quality of what I'm making. So we totally want to create a space where we can have fun and bring joy into the kitchen, and calm at the same time.
And we're applying that exactly to answering your questions. So we're creating a conscious space where we sit down and answer your questions fully, presently, in that moment. So we also talked about, the mindfulness, how food magic is mindfulness and growing consciousness and stuff like that, and how it is so easy to just throw something on, whether it be, a dress and you bolt out the door, or throw something in the kitchen together. And the challenge there is you have good excuses to not participate fully in life, right? And also, food magic is not only about what you're adding into the food, but also what you're not adding into the food.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. And I know I'm incredibly, everybody is incredibly busy.
Yeah.
we're not sitting around wondering what to do. We have more than enough to do. That's why we have 30-minute meals, one pot dinner.
Yeah.
We have companies that are thriving on we'll bring dinner to you.
Yes.
You know, which I don't have anything poor to say about that. I am probably the president of too much to do, so I understand. However, it comes to a point where literally, if all you're doing is throwing things into your food, that's not going to give you good nutrition. Even if, so say you're doing fast food, and we all do it. I'm a once in a while, I'm a guilty person. I'll totally be doing it. That's why they have drive-throughs. Jim Gaffigan, footnote. We'll meet you around the back. No one can see. Yeah, we all do it, right? We all do it. So even if you have fast food, we know that if you take your consciousness and you put your good intentions or blessings on that food, it's going to transform that nutrient and those minerals as it enters your beingness.
Yeah.
This is absolutely true. So we're bringing consciousness back into the kitchen. There are 100 billion cooking shows, but I don't know where they teach you how to bring consciousness back and actually influence your food. Food is medicine, right? I mean, everything is coming back around to this knowledge now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not only feeding your cells, you're feeding your spirit. I think I think about all the recipes that we've shared with your family throughout the years, and there's always something special about mom's spaghetti. And why is that?
Yes.
You could try to read that recipe and recreate mom's spaghetti exactly how she would do it, and it would always taste a little bit different because she was putting her own magic in it. So I think it's something that we already have accessed, and already have experienced in our life, but knowing how to consciously do it and then feed ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually through something like food is really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That is so true. Somebody has a signature dish, your mom especially puts all that love and intent into her food to nurture her children, and you can't repeat it.
Yeah,
but you can create your own magic.
Yeah. And what you mentioned about how now in medicine they're starting to recommend the food, the healing components of food, and how that actually, we also need to start prescribing a new healthy diet. For example, if you've been diagnosed with some illness or not. Amy has a wonderful story of hardship, and you can go to the Fika podcast and listen to that one. She knows exactly what food and nutrition, how healing that can be when you're suffering through an illness, and illnesses to various degrees. So just heard a podcast the other day about how food can heal depression. Now, you can then have that, and then plus the food magic, and also trying to figure out, well, maybe that depression is not just yours. So on that note, we have an upcoming event talking about cleansings and boundaries and stuff like that, about is this headache really yours or not? So that's a fascinating one. So there's so many components to being well and wellness and being conscious, and food magic is a huge component of that. And then also knowing what is your energy and not your energy, and the energy you put in the food, the energy you're not putting in the food, but also the energy that you constantly carry. So go to whitenackros.com and /events, and you can sign up for that, or go to our YouTube channel if this is after the fact, and it's our 30-minute workshop is most likely there. So do you want to get started?
Yes, I would love to get started.
All right, so there's no evaporated milk. However, it's plenty on the floor. But as Cherie will tell you, because she's the magician behind this recipe, this is hers. There are various things where you can how you can make this recipe. And isn't it right that the Mayans actually made it with water?
Yeah, the actual ancient recipe was cacao beans, where they would actually grind them into a paste, and then they would ferment and dry them, and then roast them.
Ooh.
And then they would put them in a cup, and it would be drank with water. And it was actually called shokakoto. Shokakoto. It's like chocolate spelled sideways, and it really meant, we believe, bitter water, because there was no sugar in Central America at the time. But this drink was so revered that they actually put paintings and hieroglyphics of it on their stone temples.
Wow. Was it medicinal, or was
it was absolutely medicinal? It was considered. It was drank at high celebrations of marriages. It was, but everybody, no matter what caste or class, everybody had access to it. It was actually, the cocoa pods and beans were a form of currency.
Wow.
And valued higher than real gold in their culture. So it was pretty amazing stuff. Now we know, if you go on any website, you can kind of break down the different phytochemicals that real cacao contains. One of them is theobromine, and it does have an ability to lift serotonin. So if you think chocolate makes you feel good, it does.
Just today, there was an article headline that said recent research proves that you can everyday chocolate is good for you.
Oh yeah, flavanols, heart health, totally, the antioxidants. They're actually right on the package. You don't have to go anywhere. Of this cacao powder says that it contains more magnesium than one serving of spinach. Okay, you've got zinc, magnesium. That is so yummy. So I actually did a fair amount of research on fair trade, trying to find the chocolate that would be fair trade, non-GMO, organic, all of the above. And I did find this. I urge everyone to try to do that. I mean, obviously, we can only go to the degree of our research. It's unfortunate that a lot of bigger chocolate companies are known for unfair practices, and that there are people suffering that are reaping chocolate, because the need for chocolate, or the want for chocolate, is so huge across the globe. But I try to be true to the products that seem to be fair trade. I also got this at Mom's Organics, and they have a wonderful way of dealing with products. And
yeah, and Mom's Organic is a wonderful place here in the local DC area where it's locally sourced.
Yeah.
So you probably have something around your area as well that you can do so. And it's interesting because the fair trade, it helps you out, and the energy that it's, the conscious energy that's in the fair trade product, it's maybe better than not when it's not fair practices. And also think about all the products, the people who have touched this from the beginning. So you have their energy in this product as well. So
what do you do if you only have access to some other company that might not be as conscious in their production?
Yeah,
absolutely. So you take what you can, you have that, and then you can cleanse it yourself. Okay, so say we've turned all of our phones off and we're in a calm, centric place. And this is, I'm glad you asked it. This is why I believe prayer and blessing or cleansing of food began on the globe. Every religion across the globe has this process. And I don't think it would have lasted thousands of years if it weren't for something. And I've done a little bit of research and realized that it's now documented that actually praying over your food, blessing it and or cleansing it, has actual, it adds to the nutritive value of the food that you're eating.
Yeah, I think I've heard some of those stories you're talking about. It's so cool. It's like we're returning back to, like, the science is proving the Mayans and
exactly. So if energy is everything,
yeah,
which it is, frequency is everything. Anybody who's ever read Messages in Water by Dr.
Emoto?
Emoto! Thank you, Amy. Where he did this amazing experiment where he actually photographed water, droplets of water. And then the water was actually given intentions. Some were shouted at, some had verbally abusive language, some peace messages, calm. And then he actually photographed on a molecular level. And the ones that had peace and love and calm intentions actually formed these amazing, geometric, beautiful, crystal-like formations in their molecules. And the other ones were disorganized and sharp and dissipated and broken apart. So we are 92% water. Mm-hmm. It's fair to say that everything's alive. The food is alive, right? I mean, basically, this has not been roasted, so this is actually still alive. The phytochemicals are still alive in this. So if we actually speak over our food with intent and blessing, that is introducing a new energy that is put upon the food. So yes, if you get something that perhaps has not been fair trade, you can cleanse it, you can thank it, you can picture the people that picked the pod from the tree and send them a blessing. And this is healing. It's healing for us and it's healing for everyone. So let's mention that. Thank you.
Let's get started.
Okay.
And also, if you registered for the event ahead of time, you also know that you have the option of doing some shopping ahead of time and with the ingredients, and you can follow along and
that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
So we're going to take, okay. So whether you have decided, I am not going to grind up chili beans like the ancient Mayans did, there are so many recipes. And I invite you to divine the one that is specifically going to make you excited about cooking hot Mayan chocolate. This one excited me. So this is the recipe I got. And this is cacao powder, chili powder, okay, and cinnamon and nutmeg. And then we're either going to add, I prefer actually the raw sugar, but you can use honey or stevia, whatever you prefer. We're going to use the raw sugar. So while we're choosing, we can do dairy if you're a dairy person, or we can do coconut milk with this. Again, it's to your preference. So I'm going to go ahead and just begin to cleanse and clear any non-vital energies or entities from this place. And I'm even thinking about, I just pictured the truck that this arrived on, you know, and the people loading and unloading the cans and then stocking the shelves. All of those people, this took a long time to get to our kitchen. So I'm just going to say thank you to all of those people who brought this to us, and the cows who brought this to us, if in fact it's dairy.
So this is a cup of evaporated milk and a cup of water. We're going to add some additional milk,
yes.
Whole milk.
Yes, we are.
Okay, and that's for 3 people. I'm just for those following along.
Okay.
Do the recipe.
Yeah, we're making it for 3.
And we should probably turn this on. So what would you put this on? Medium?
Mm-hmm.
Medium.
Medium. And then we'll need a little bit more milk.
So would it be like a cup of milk?
Yes.
A cup of milk.
Is that, how about a cup and a half? This is basically a cup and a half, so that'll make 3 cups.
Equal parts evaporated milk and whole milk. Correct? Is that what that was? Okay.
So. And you're invited to sing over your food. I know there are cultures that actually have ritualistic dances as they create a specific meal. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I was just watching this morning, there's a new documentary series called 1491, and it's all about the indigenous cultures, that's the Indians that came into North and South America. And that was something that they would do is what I can't remember which tribe did this, but as they planted the seeds in the ground, there was 3 women just standing on the side singing and chanting as they were planting their fields.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So I wholeheartedly agree with the singing part
Absolutely.
of
Absolutely.
making chocolate.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 tablespoons.
Do you want to show the package a little bit closer in the video so people can see it? And of course, we have people from all the world tuning in, so whatever you can feel, see cacao, so it's something that's in your region that you can get to.
Keeping.
So this is how much for 3 people?
1 tablespoon each.
1 tablespoon
Heaping.
each. Heaping. I mean, you're really heaping. It's. I just want to be fair. If people are making this drink,
I like it really rich.
yeah.
Obviously, if you do not, just make it 1 tablespoon. So the difference, for those witches watching, and witches, okay, it might scare a lot of people. A witch, the definition I go by, is simply somebody who heals by means of nature. Okay? A lot of, food magic, you're witches. Well, okay. If food is medicine, then I'm a witch. Okay? If that's true, fine. The only difference between white magic and black magic is one works with the force of the universe and one works against. So I always choose white magic if I'm going to be doing some magic. It would be white. So there forms like these little bubbles, and we just take our time. It's going to be okay.
So let me show you what it looks like.
Yeah, these little lumpy lumps. Ooh. And then I love how the color just deepens very slowly.
And Cherie, do you want to share it's not just the food ingredients here, but it's also the utensils that you're using and the spoon, the wooden spoon and the ceramic.
Absolutely. Everything that touches the food has a vibration, and your vibration reacting to that vibration is what really matters. So this makes me happy. It sparks joy. Thanks, Marie. You're so welcome. Thank you, Marie Kondo. It sparks joy, and I love natural materials. So this wooden spoon is perfect as my magic wand as we're stirring in the chocolate. I'm also thinking about the rainforest, and I'm thinking about the beauty of all of the living things there and their gifts to us on this planet. So honoring where the food comes from is really important to me. That's a big part of the food magic. Now, are we going to have time to do this every single night of the week? Probably not. But as Erica pointed out earlier, even if all you have is an almond for a snack at your desk one day, you can still put all of your love, all of your intent, all of the magic and blessing and gratitude into that one almond before you eat it.
And you'll actually feel how that almond grows. It's bright.
Will expand.
It's amazing. And also, we're so busy, if you're in the corporate world, we're busy with, we often have to eat at our desks, etc. So that is also a time where instead of stress eating while you're working, take that moment, cleansing, clearing, but also adding some of the nutritional value. And what we'll do today is we're going to actually sprinkle in values and minerals and vitamins and that serves you in every possible way. And that's something you can do with the almond, but also your desk food, the lunch, the quick lunch, fast food, and she will do that towards the end.
Did you say values and minerals?
Yes.
I love that. Sure, vitamins and minerals. Oh, values and minerals.
And whatever, you know, when I was, this is my second pregnancy, and when I was pregnant with my first one, you know, I was craving mostly toast and stuff like that throughout. And that's not always the most nutritional thing that you can do, but also, you know, you get exhausted during pregnancy. So I would actually add also to my food, I would add, or to the toast, I would add all the mother deities and their energies and interdimensional energy into my food. So I would get their love and their motherly love, and that I could not just be mothered, but also mother my child. So that's also part of food magic.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and psychically say, hey, anybody out there who is waiting to hear back from, let's say you took some tests or did some health tests last week, and you're hearing back from the doctor this week. Maybe you're a little anxious about what those tests might actually tell you. So we're going to put whatever healing you need for that outcome, we're going to put that right on in there. So in every dimension where you exist, that healing is going into this chocolate. And do this at home. Also, is there somebody there that has had a decrease in appetite? Somebody who actually needs to eat a little bit more and is having difficulty with that? We're going to put that in there. Healing and bringing back of the appetite for life, the appetite for life and joy and good food and nutrition. That's in there. Okay.
Good one.
And how would you, we also probably have some viewers who are getting ready for, we're doing this live stream around the corner from Valentine's Day, and there may be people who are planning some date night. So how would you add some sensuality to this if you're making this for your partner or girlfriends, have people over, watch the movies we had as tips to enhance your experience before watching this live feed. It was
like Water for Chocolate.
Like Water for Chocolate and Chocolat. Phenomenal movies. Have your girlfriends over, make this together in the kitchen, and then sip it while watching one of those or both movies.
Great for Galentine's Day.
Galentine's. So how would you add that into that little magic in there?
Okay, so this is sugar. Oh, honey, honey. So just the thought of romance, and even though this is just sugar, is making me very excited and happy to be stirring this in. Yeah, you conjure up your own romance. You conjure up your own feelings of sensuality, and the fun and the excitement and the mystery of what's going to happen next. Oh my gosh! And we're going to sprinkle that in there. A little bit of mystery keeps it alive. Keeps it alive. Yeah.
And then
the heat.
This isn't necessarily very Mayan. It's an octopus on it. However, you know, Mayans had a phenomenal art industry. I don't know.
Their culture is very advanced in the arts. Yes.
So you can also then go to a thrift shop or a vintage store, or maybe raid your grandmother's closet and cupboards and find some fun cups to serve this with and make a little bit of a theme.
So this would be our heat, the chili powder.
So you want to show that this is the heat. And how much of the heat, I guess It's individual.
It is individual.
And you like a lot of heat.
But you probably not. So
I
we're going to go
with a little bit
I can
of
always
between.
put this in my cup.
Yes, you're right.
So I'm just going to do a couple dashes.
Okay.
Nothing too much.
I'm sure it's fine. So we got this on medium temperature, and of course, when you're making this on your own, it might be go a little bit faster unless you have two chatty girlfriends in the kitchen with you. But we've added now cacao. We've added combination of evaporated milk, water, and whole milk.
And sugar. You can definitely use honey if you prefer, or stevia, or truvia. And now we're just going to do a couple of shakes of nutmeg.
And this one actually, well, you added that. This one actually, the packaging of this is recyclable. So for those viewing in Europe, this will be no surprise. You recycle every package, but here in the US, we're still getting there. And so this takes it to another conscious level of recycling your packaging afterwards. So now it looks like, you know, any hot chocolate.
But that's not just any hot chocolate.
No, it's not. It's kind of shimmering and glowing with love. All the nurture and value and minerals in every dimension that we may need and more. To the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. So I say, and so it is. This is some powerful hot chocolate, young ladies.
And while we're having this, we're making this, we are making this for you. You know, whether you're watching this right now or later, the energy grid is up. So this drink is for you. We're drinking it with you and for you, and we're celebrating your life while we're making this Mayan hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's super that you're in on this, because this is so beautiful to be able to share this kind of consciousness with you. Everybody's talking about it over the water cooler, and we thought we would bring it right to a live stream so that we could we're going to normalize food magic, okay? We're going to make it an everyday thing. So when you're blessing your coffee, when you're about to feed one of your children, you can just wave your hand over, or have the whole family. As my family, we used to all hold hands, and my kids complained about it at the time, and now they brag about it. Isn't it funny? We would all hold hands, and we would say, if anybody remembers the Madeline cartoon, it was the Madeline prayer. We love our bread, we love our butter, but most of all, we love each other. Before we would eat, we would always say that. So that was our thing. It was a really cool ritual. Again, if your kids buck you, that's okay. Keep doing it. One day they'll thank you.
I have a question, or is it?
Yes.
Let's say you're making your hot chocolate or your food, whatever you are, and you catch your thoughts kind of wandering off in a negative way, or you're thinking about how so-and-so really ticked you off at work today. Did I just ruin my dinner or my chocolate?
No, you know, they're just the awareness of catching yourself, remembering that you're attempting to put all the goodness in your food. That's a sign that you're really doing everything right. We're human beings. We're going to have those thoughts. It's going to happen. And so, like anything, it's like a cloud. Thoughts are like little bubble clouds. Just let it go. Just let it go. Don't become attached to it. Don't blow it up or make it more than it is. And then if you think any of that got into the food, you just take your hand and go, oh, cleansing clear, cleansing clear. Okay? Do you see that? Cleansing clear, cleansing clear. There we go. Yeah, only good stuff. That's what we want.
And if you're enjoying this conversation, this is actually the first event that is kicking off Food Magic, the Food Magic series from White Nackros. And so check out the other episodes when they are ready. Or sign up on the website, whitenackros.com/events, and you can see what's coming up. We also have a phenomenal workshop coming up, a weekend workshop for our psychic awareness and opening workshop that Amy and Cherie will be teaching together. And I have just by then given birth, so I will do mostly the technical stuff, but I will be there to provide energy as well. And not just through breastfeeding, but my child, but just to clarify. For the first time, we will actually have, White Nackros is all about bringing these events virtually to spread across the world, to reach you in the comfort of your own home. But we also have a lot of events that are in person. So this particular event will have a few virtual seats. So be sure to email us and check those out. Oh, little sparkles.
Yeah.
The
heat is on.
So now it's, I don't know if you can see how much it's smoking. Do you want it to boil, or where do you want the temperature to lie?
No, I wouldn't want it to boil. I think you just bring it up to medium-high heat, which it pretty much is right now.
Yeah, I'll turn it down
and then we can turn it down a little bit. You can see all of the cacao has now blended in. Okay, so we don't have any more lumps. It's all blended and beautiful. I love the texture of the milk as it's shimmering like that. Oh,
so
when do we get to drink it?
So let's revise your recipe here.
Okay, so 1 cup of milk to 1 tablespoon of the cacao powder, and then depending on how much heat you like, a few dashes of chili powder. You can also use cayenne pepper and cinnamon. Okay, and then a little bit of nutmeg. And of course, some sweetener. You're going to want maybe a little honey, maybe some of this beautiful raw sugar. Oh, it smells so good. The fragrance is healing just in itself.
So how would the Mayans drink this as a celebratory drink in weddings, during wedding celebrations?
Religious ceremonies, and also throughout their week. This was what the most democratic thing. Even if you were not a king, you had full access to drinking hot chocolate. It was medicinal, also an aphrodisiac. Yeah, absolutely, which is why it was probably marriage rites. But yeah, it's magical stuff. I don't know how they discovered, I think it was 900 AD, it's believed the first hot chocolate was made.
Wow. That's a long time ago. You know, I was born and bred on hot chocolate.
I drank hot cocoa every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning. I lived 4 years in Houston, Texas, and it was hot, and I didn't care. I had my hot cocoa.
Yeah, that's not where I lived.
And no, you didn't.
I don't know. That was always, it was a special treat for me too. But it would only be when we had like a snow day for school, and we'd be playing outside all day in the snow, and then come in and the hot chocolate with 2 marshmallows on top.
Marshmallows.
Such a good treat.
Yeah.
Yes.
I grew up on it. I probably had it every single morning for 15 years. And the story that goes in our family is that I'm the youngest of 3 daughters, and the middle daughter, Caroline, sorry for outing you, but she spilled her hot chocolate every single morning, pretty much. And my dad, of course, knew that this was going to happen, so he had already made more. And he we just all, well, mostly my dad, dried it up. Very similar to what we did with evaporated milk before we went live today.
I was representing Caroline.
Channeling Caroline and my dad, and just serve her another one. So hot chocolate, very, very strong memories, and I think every child probably has memories from hot chocolate, but this particular recipe is, of course, the ancient Mayan hot chocolate.
And it has antidepressive abilities as well, because it does pick up the serotonin level. So heart health, we've already talked about that.
Yeah.
Lowers your blood pressure.
Wow.
The flavonols. Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Very good stuff. Chocolate is good for you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
And if you're making hot chocolate on your own, or to serve it with your family or your partner, or maybe you're trying your hands on food magic, we would love to hear from you and see what results you have. And when you do food magic, people definitely notice. They devour the food more. They say more than once how delicious it is. And like the food magic we did a week ago, we did
the carnitas.
The carnitas, and we were doing some food magic in the kitchen, and I was making this carnitas, and I had to sit down, and Cherie took over, and I seriously have eaten that carnitas every single day since. It's just, phenomenal food. And it's not just the food, it is what was put into that food that is nourishing me. And so we would love to hear from you how maybe you have had the experience of doing this, tried it out, and see what the results. Just shoot us an email, leave us a comment here. We would love to know.
Yeah, you could even do that whole taste test thing is so popular right now. So, you could do something that doesn't have food magic in it, and then something that does, and then serve it and see what people say. Because you will definitely be getting hits on the thing that you put food magic in. I know I've seen this happen so many times. It's ridiculous. One of my friends put some healing, she's also a healer, into her muffins and served them to her brother. Her brother, quote unquote, whatever, non-believer and whatever that stuff is, he was like, yeah, you want to rub on? And she was giggling, because he knew he loved it, but he didn't know why he loved it so much.
So, did I interrupt you with the ingredients? So did you cover all the ingredients?
I think we did.
We
did. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
do you want to serve?
I would love to. Are we ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here's our very fine ladle. I'm going to give it a little baptism. Always baptize. Okay. Did we turn this completely off yet?
No. Do you want it to be off? It doesn't matter.
Oh.
So let me move out of the way.
Ladies.
Oh.
Even sounds beautiful. So thick.
Wow, that looks so good.
Yes, it does. I love how the texture changes.
Now, would it be, could you possibly add whipped cream to this, or
Absolutely.
to make it rich, even more rich, or
Yes.
you can top it however you want?
However you want. Some people put chocolate shavings, some people put cream, mint leaves.
Ooh, that'd be a nice flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And you've served me this before, Cherie, where it actually been thicker.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it was maybe
cooked
less
longer.
cooked longer. Yeah, because I remember
Can I
taking.
give you a little
Yes,
more?
please. It's taking a lot
Cherie
more.
is totally, even in the serving, you're putting your intention into that. So like every single step has magic in it.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just take this, put this here, and just, we don't want this to go to waste. Good to the last drop. Okay. And anything that you guys would like to add, you may, but I don't know.
So we'll toast here
Okay.
to. Did you want to add your extra hotness in there? Are you good?
Okay.
Now this is smoking hot, so
Oh yeah,
I'm a little bit of a chicken when it comes to hot.
to taste.
But so this chocolate is for you, and we're drinking it with you. And we hope that you have enjoyed this live stream or recording, whenever you're watching it, of food magic and making the ancient Mayan hot chocolate. We'll share the recipe with you, and feel free to email us if you have any questions, and leave us a comment. Is it good?
It smells amazing.
Oh my goodness, that does smell amazing.
Full sensory experience.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Love you guys.
Love
Cheers,
you.
everyone.
Cheers.
Oh wow.
I was gonna say this has so much wellness over it, but it really is every single step of the way that that we've consciously created this space to drink this, to make it, to drink it, and also all the ancestry. Sorry,
Ancestral, yeah.
It's getting late. Ancestry of the ancient Mayan, who still exists today, by the way. I think there's 6 million people on the planet. It is so funny how I shy away from piping hot drinks, and this one I can literally just chug it right now. Absolutely delicious.
This is full bodied. I can really taste all the dimensions in there.
Yeah, the cocoa is very deep. It's like a very deep.
It is, but it's not too. You know, I was afraid maybe I put too much chocolate. It's just the right amount.
Could you actually melt your own chocolate and then make the Mayan chocolate from that if you really want to go a little bit more advanced?
Absolutely could. The same brand Navitas has cacao nibs.
Okay.
So you can get a double Dutch. I would do the double Dutch thing and just steam, the bottom of the pan and have it melt like that, and then add your milk or coconut milk or whatever you have. Yeah, you absolutely could. That sounds delicious as well. I thought about doing both, but that would be so complicated.
Yeah,
this is
another time.
If you do the coconut milk, is there any difference with the temperature or?
No, really, straight up not.
Okay.
Same.
I love your rain, Amy. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Well, we're just going to slurp away here. We hope you're slurping at home.
Yeah.
Slurp in good health.
This is also about enjoying it, right? And I'm trying not to rush through this, but it's really good. And I really would love to rush. But it's also amazing, how you can do this for yourself. So you can make this drink when you really need it, or it doesn't have to be served to somebody else. It can also be for you.
Absolutely.
You are more than enough, and you definitely can do this for yourself. How about if you're having wine and you're not necessarily making the wine yourself, but you're serving the wine from the bottle, and you can just apply the same thing, even if it's alcohol.
Absolutely. Sure.
Maybe add in a sprinkle of no hangover the next day.
Sure, you can absolutely say, with all of your centeredness and your power and your intent, which moves volumes of molecules a day, I now bring down any of the values that would be non-vital to me, and I raise up all the minerals and vitamins and flavanols and whatever they have that would be at the highest for my good. So you're raising what the contents is, you're raising the value of it, and whatever it might be that might not be so good for you, you're bringing that down. So it's a way of balancing it with your power.
Same thing with supplements. If you're taking supplements, for example, vitamins, you can maximize the benefits of that as well.
I've also found when you have something that has been really consciously made, a cup of coffee or muffin, that for me, I actually want less of that. It's because I'm so satisfied with my one cup or my one cookie or my one piece of cake that you kind of end up, your body is complete. And so instead of thinking like, oh, I want more, you're not actually satisfied by the thing that maybe wasn't created with so much awareness.
Yeah.
That is so true, so true. And I've seen and read also where, as we say, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, that we're getting lighter on the planet. All of us, as our consciousness expands, we are becoming lighter. And so we don't need as much density in our foods. What we need is this, the food magic. This is what we need, the consciousness and the mindfulness. And we don't need as much. God, you brought that up. It's true.
And going back to also the full from the picking of the vegetable or the hunt of an animal. You recently had a conversation with a Native American here, and they don't necessarily hunt for their own food. However, they said, back in the day, they would actually, bless, and many traditions do this.
Release the spirit.
Yeah, the Highlanders in Scotland, the Vikings were had their religion, and so they would have that tradition of thanking the gods for their foods and their blessings and stuff like that. When you are a Native American and you don't go hunting,
right,
and you pick something on the grocery store, you can still bless and thank for the meals.
Absolutely. Yeah, following the chain of where that came from the farmer to whoever had any interaction with that animal, becoming aware that we're not just these robots that come out of our houses and go into these grocery stores where food grows. Food does not grow in the grocery store. It took a lot of people and a lot of work and a lot of sun and a lot of man hours and woman hours and sometimes child hours to get the food to us. So becoming aware of that is only a good thing. It's only a good thing. It expands our consciousness and it blesses the food and everything. Every prayer that you may say or gratitude that you may hold for that person, however far away, it's like throwing a pebble in a pond. The ripple goes out for miles and miles and miles. And I think if we all did that, I think we would fill up faster.
I think so too. I just remember watching, I thought about you because it was a marketing TED Talk about how grocery stores are actually designed to make us kind of shut down and not think about where our food came from. And so it might actually take us a little, at least here in, not every store, there's obviously exceptions to the rule, but it does take maybe a little bit more work when you go to the store to sit there and think about that chicken on the farm and, while you're going through and, but, it is, I think the benefits would pay off.
I totally think so. I think being aware of our environment and where our food comes from is only a healthy thing. I mean, what else might we be thinking of? Where we parked, hoping we get home in time to, you know, ... So yeah, it's just a shift. It's just, you know, becoming even a little bit of awareness. It will grow. It will grow. The awareness will grow. You can start with 3 minutes of, wow, look at that. That came from a farm somewhere. And then some people only shop. I know some of these people. I'm not one of them. I wish I would be one at farmers markets. And that's really wonderful. You get to meet the people and shake the hand of the person and really feel that connection to them. If I could eat locally all the time, I would.
And then we do our best, right? So if you
Right.
can't, then what is the next step that you do? And if you, you know, if you are eating a meal that might be fast food, whatever, you have now the resources to do and to kind of balance that and add your own magic in it. So we definitely, we know what we want to strive for, and hopefully that we'll get to that one day.
I know you just reminded me of something. So I don't know, a few years ago, I was at an outlet mall with my daughter, and we were hungry, and I was like, oh, I didn't want to have to eat here. I knew there weren't very many healthy food choices there. So I went to the food court, and pretty much I kind of took a hand scale of all of the nutrition there, and all of it was really about, you know, 5. So
That is a scale from 1 to 10, by the way. Learning
1 to 10.
This is stuff
I got
that
about
you
a
learn if
scale.
you join our
Let's see.
workshop.
How will this food nurture me physically? 5. How will it nurture me emotionally? 5. So, yeah. So then I decided, okay, the food's pretty much the same. I looked at the people, and I found the man who had light in his eyes. And I asked him for my food because he didn't hate his job. He wasn't too busy. He was kind. And that's what I needed. If all the food was going to be there, at least I would have this man touch my food and bring it to me as opposed to somebody else.
So that is food magic, creating a stir together with us white Nackros, and a shout out to Colette as well, who joins us on this virtually. And we hope you've enjoyed it, and we definitely hope that you're trying this for yourself, whether it be the magical ancient Mayan hot chocolate, or if you're tomorrow cooking dinner and you're making it, trying it out then and see what happens. We would love to hear from you, and join us for any upcoming events. You know, Food Magic this is a start of a series, so hopefully there will be much more coming at you soon. And we're also kicking off another series, Intentional Creativity, later this year. So thank you so much for joining us. We loved making this with you and for you, and blessing the food and adding all sorts of magic for you. And even though we're the ones sipping this, we're sipping it for you. So,
Can we do a shout out to York?
huh?
Can we do a shout out to York?
Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you want.
York, we love you.
Love
Thank you for
you.
joining us. We miss you.
And that's it. Yeah, just shoot us an email if you have any questions, or if you didn't catch something, or would love to learn a little bit more from your spiritual teachers at White Nackros, Amy, Cherie, and Erica. Mwah. Mwah.